Hey, hey, my juicy jelly beans. Who says I'm doing a frog? You must be imagining it. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have a lot of molds, and I find it really hard to find ones that I really like. So I go for the ones that either have a good blank space or because they are useful. That's why I also like to work on canvases, because it's a blank slate where we can still work with resin and turn it into something more unique. A bit like making a table. Don't forget that every technique can be done on the majority of molds you use. It doesn't have to be the same one I'm using today. So I've been a good girl and I organized my 8mm cabochons into colors so that I could find them quicker. And all of these are just the ones that have the slits for pupils. The normal pupil ones are still in the box. Organizing like this also makes you think I'm such an organized jelly bean. Not. I'm so not. Life's too precious to worry about where the other shoe is. These are the ones I've chosen for today's monkey mold. And you thought it was a frog. I like to make a line on the back of the cabochon so I know which way the pupil is slanting. All you need is a dot of UV resin inside the eye socket. Grab your tweezers and place the eye facing down. That does not necessarily mean facing the same way. For example, if you add them in the same direction, you'll end up with, I guess you could say, a side-eyed view. But if you add them on an opposite, same slant degree, you'll get them looking in the same direction. I've explained myself wonderfully, horribly. Once placed, use a UV torch under and over to lock them in. I like to then put them under my double-sided lamp for about a minute. Time to do some mold colouring in. I've chosen a gold holographic for my base colour. With a soft blending brush, add the pigment all over the whole body. Don't worry too much if you miss a spot. Those of you that have been following my journey for a while will know that I like to play with my resin and push boundaries. And they're not the dangerous science way, but using our makes as canvases. Yes, we can make wonderful things inside a mold. I've done it, but working with it even more on a solid basis gives you a whole wider range to play with. This way you can use your materials to do spectacular effects, textures and visual compositions that other resin artists don't do. They'll be unique and one of a kind. And if you're selling them, you can definitely make a few more bucks on them. If I had to work from only the inside of a mold, I'd have quit ages ago out of boredom. Seen it, done it, been there, got the t-shirt. Next. But that's my philosophy on it with resin. And I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea, which is okay. Hold on, let me go and get some tissues. I just want to have fun, and I want my jelly beans to have fun too. For me, this is an escape relief to just think of colours and shut out all the noise. For resin, I'm using my favourite low viscosity from ARTLINE. This is the crystal. Don't forget that next week we will be having the ARTLINE giveaway for the 4th of July. And today, the results of the 2 giveaways from our last video. So keep your eyes peeled and glued. So I have already prepared my lush ARTLINE crystal resin. And I'm going to use this old eyeshadow pigment I have, which is a shimmering gold. I can't be bothered to wear makeup anymore, so might as well use it in my crafts. Add some pigment into your resin and mix it in really well, making sure to scrape the sides too. Any makeup pigment you have, such as eyeshadows, blushes, etc., can be used without any problem. It won't affect your resin whatsoever. It looks like melted caramel. Once you've mixed the pigment all in, we can now pour it into a mold all the way to the top. This resin flows like water, reaching all the nooks and crannies with such ease. I place my mold into my resinous curing machine. It's really easy to use and I just love it. I'm going to put it at 40 degrees and for 2 hours. Once it's finished, it cools down so you don't burn yourself. As you know, resin can sometimes be really hot. This is ready to demold. I like using a dotting tool to help me release the edges, making it easier and finger-friendly. I have a little overpour on the toes, surprise, surprise. But with a little clipper, it comes right out without too much hassle. It's now time for the fun part. We're going to give it a coat of matte top coat as we need it to have a textured surface. You only need a thin layer of this and you can do it in sections. Once you've done a section, pop it under a UV lamp and it will turn it matte in seconds. I have absolutely no bubbles, not even under the chin, where sometimes you get these 1,000 little ones. Next up, we're going to need a paint palette. Yeah, I finally got some. A disposable cup, which we need to add some isopropyl alcohol to. You don't need much, just enough for us to dip our brush into. Some white alcohol ink. This one is a translucent one. All the colours I'm using today are translucent. Make sure you shake your bottles as the pigments tend to sink to the bottom. Add a few drops onto your palette. You'll need a thin brush. Dip your brush into the ink and begin to draw squiggly lines all over your frog. No specific rule, just here and there. Add more ink if needed. We do want nice white lines. Once you're happy, clean off the brush in your alcohol cup to eliminate the pigment. Have a paper towel or a wet wipe near. Now we're going to blur those lines as we don't want sharp edges, but we don't want to blur it out completely. Dip your brush into the alcohol and begin to blur the lines. Also, drag the pigment to make thinner lines.
I've been down so long that my mind can't get no rest. No, no. I've been down so long that my mind can't get no rest. No, no. This ain't easy, darling, 'cause the devil's on my trail. I've been running so long that my feet don't work no more. Oh, yeah.
Once you're happy with the lines, let it dry or use a little fan to help. But it has to be purple and little, otherwise it won't work. Just ignore me. Next up, I'm adding a thin layer of J Addiction low viscosity UV resin. Use a flat brush as it will help to thin it out nicely and cover the area more evenly. Do not cure. Now we're going to add a few Mylar flakes onto our palette just to avoid them from going everywhere, especially if you have a little purple fan. With a pair of tweezers, begin to add a few Mylar flakes here and there. You don't want to cover the whole thing, but just randomly add a few in different areas. Try to get them pressed down nicely onto the frog and not stick out. If it does happen and you get spiky bits after curing, don't worry, you can snip them off. I wish I had used more Mylar flakes on the body area, but it still looks cool. Ignore the blue and green Mylar flakes, as I didn't use them in the end. These flakes were too big. I need to cut them down into much smaller pieces. Once you're happy with the amount, cure under a UV lamp. We need to add another layer of matte top coat. Yes, again, I'm sorry, but it is an important step. Add a thin layer and cure under a UV lamp. If you miss any areas, just swipe more matte top coat and cure. The colours I've chosen are Lagoon, which is an aqua blue, Brownie, and Ocean, which is an aqua green. Add a few drops of the aqua green onto your palette. You're going to need some more isopropyl alcohol in a little pot. Begin to add squiggly lines all over the body, just like we did with the white. Once you've completed it, clean your brush off to eliminate the ink on your brush. And now we're going in with the aqua blue. Adding more squiggly lines. I know it looks like a hot mess, but just trust me as this will start to fall into place and make sense.
They're coming to get me tomorrow. Got no more time for loving you. Oh, they're coming to get me tomorrow. Got no more time for loving you. No more pain, no more worry. I got no more time for loving you.
Clean your brush again and add some of the dark brown into your palette. Repeat the same process by adding more squiggly lines. I'm adding them more or less in the same direction. Now it really looks like a hot mess. Happy with your colour? Then use a little purple fan to dry it up. Begin to blur and drag the inks. I also watered down some areas to let the holographic show through. Take your time and enjoy the process, and slowly you'll begin to see it all coming together. Giveaway time. The first giveaway is for all jelly beans. Okay, here goes. Ooh, confetti. And the winner is Pour Resin with Love. Congratulations. Pour Resin with Love, please send me an email to jellybeancrafts@gmail.com. Now for the members. I had to use a different app. All the names have been added. Good luck, everyone. Here we go. And the winner is Nicole Wells. Congratulations, Nicole. Please send me an email to jellybeancrafts@gmail.com. Good news, we are still having another giveaway next week, so make sure to hit that notification bell to not miss out, as ARTLINE has been so sweet to give us a 4th of July giveaway. Big thank you to all my subscribers and channel members. I hope I inspire you to make some fun creating, because you guys have blessed me with so much love and kindness, and I love you to the moon and back. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you've enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate a like as it would really help my channel. And lastly, we need to give our make a top coat. I like using an orange stick to have something to grab onto, because some of these pieces get really heavy. Add a bit of UV resin to your frog and attach the stick. Cure with a UV torch, and to fully secure it, cure it again under a UV lamp. Make sure to check it's nice and secure. I spin it round and round to double check. I've propped my lamp up on 2 large cups so I have more space. I have a black tub with low viscosity UV resin. Dip your piece into the tub and use a spatula to help you get the UV resin reach every part of the frog. If you don't have a tub of UV resin, just do a thin layer using a flat brush. Once done, let the excess drip off, then rotate your frog to balance out the UV resin. Cure it under the lamp for about 30 seconds. Then you can place it under a double-sided lamp. Keep turning your frog and cure it under the lamp for about 30 seconds. Then you can place it under a double-sided lamp. Make sure you've put your lid back onto your tub before you turn your lamp on. I have been asked what do I do with the stick after it's cured. Well, I use big snippers to cut it out and then I sand it down. Keep watching for the end results. Toodles, jelly beans!